So I have a potential Overwatch 2 leak here, guys. All right, let's get stuck into this. So we know Overwatch 2 is a game that's coming out. The big question on everybody's minds is like, when is this game coming out? Because Overwatch is clearly in a maintenance mode, and it's been in that mode for like years at this point now. And how long can the community really take that kind of neglect? Now, okay, sure, Blizzard still keep the game going. They still keep the odd balance update coming out. We get new skins for the various events. Great. But that's all we get. We don't get any substance added to the game. And it's been like that for a very long time. Now, straight away at the top of this video, I do want to say, it isn't that Blizzard doesn't care about Overwatch 2. It's far from that. Blizzard, like the developers, they love the game, right? Everyone I've met, all of the devs that I've met who work on Overwatch, right? They have been the biggest fans of the game by far. Like, you cannot even question their dedication to the game. But it's not up to those guys what they get to spend their time on. They're told to make Overwatch 2, so they go and make Overwatch 2. Now, there's one very clear reason why I think this is the case. Overwatch simply doesn't make money, and that's because at some point in its... I mean, you look at 2016, 2017, then you sort of go into 2018. 2018, well, 2017, 2018, you start getting Overwatch League coming in, so that sort of throws a spanner into the works, I think, as well. But prior to all of that, we had new seasonal events all the time, new heroes are coming out, and sure, new heroes still came out all the way up until 2020, because of course we got Echo in March of 2020, or was it April of 2020? I always get confused because March is the time that I went over to have a look at her, at Irvine, at the head office at Blizzard. But it's like, the point I'm trying to make is there's been a winding down, but there was a decision that was made to make Overwatch 2, and I can 1,000 billion% tell you guys, it's a money-orientated decision. Overwatch is not making money, so we need a new game that's going to make even more money, and we're going to sell it as a completely new game, and we're just going to put all of our development into that. That's the way these things work. I've spoke about this in detail before, the idea that Activision Blizzard wants a Call of Duty every year, a game that makes $1 billion every year. Overwatch did that when it came out, and I think then it did it over the next like 4 years or so through loot box sales. So it was making decent money, and then it had Overwatch League on top of that. But it's not good enough. They need more money, because that's the way capitalism works. More money, more money. So they're like, well, okay, let's make a sequel. And then, yeah. So I do believe that the devs love the game and do want to support the game, but they're forced to work on Overwatch 2. So, yeah, that's my like little rant there. But what I want to do now is get stuck into this, because this is the tweet. Now, this is from Metro. You guys might have seen Metro before. I've made videos on stuff he said, well, throughout the years of Overwatch. Now, he's a known Overwatch leaker. He doesn't get it right all the time, but I would say he's like 70, 80% correct. Just before we go into detail on this one, I do want to show you this, because this is when he gets it wrong. So he did say back in October the 18th, 2020, Overwatch 2 release news. Rumors of the next OWL season being delayed until April to make sure they can launch with Overwatch 2 suggests that the expected beta or even full release of the game around BlizzCon in February 2021 is very likely. Of course, this was trash. This was not accurate at all. Maybe it was accurate, though, and then it got pushed back. We'll never know, but I don't think so, given the state of Overwatch that we've seen at that BlizzCon Online, and then going forward to the event in April, the PvP stuff, where you could see the game. Yeah, okay, they've got nice maps that are built, but hardly any of the heroes has been redesigned in it. Like they still look like the Overwatch heroes. It's really weird. Like, I don't know, it was weird. It looked like it needed a lot more time to get made. So Metro does get things wrong every now and again. This is what he says though this time. He said, Overwatch 2 news. I've heard from multiple people close to my original source with Overwatch 2 that development is taking longer than expected. From what I can gather, a release in 2022 does not seem likely anymore. I hope this is false and I am proven wrong. So here's the thing. 2022, what in the hell? That, like, everybody I know is banking on this game coming out next year. If it doesn't come out next year, I don't even know what to tell you guys, right? Because this, like, the Overwatch community, the content creator community, you guys watching the video, the people who still play the game, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Like, the amount of neglect is a very strong word, but the amount of, like, just, we're not focusing on the actual game that's live that people are playing. Instead, we're making this other thing. Oh, by the way, we've got to delay it for another year, and we just keep going. Like, remember, this is 2019. We get told about this game. 2020, nothing. 2021, they tell us it's not coming out. If this leak's true, 2022, it's not coming out. That's 4 years, and then it comes out in 2023? Are you joking me? Like, okay, sure, Blizzard, they do like to take their time making games, and they make good games as a result of that. But this is a different world. And like, you've still got Overwatch as a thing which is out in the world right now. And I cannot, it literally beggars belief to me that there isn't a team that is dedicated to keep making Overwatch content. It makes me mental. Like, I just don't understand. Yeah, I know they've got technical reasons. They can say stuff like, well, we've got a new engine. It's not a new graphics engine. It's the same engine we've got at the moment for Overwatch, but it's heavily upgraded, so it may as well be a new engine. So I get that you can't just plug a hero made for Overwatch 2 straight into Overwatch because there's going to be problems. The underlying technology is going to have issues dealing with that, and that's fine, right? But I don't get why it was just abandoned. Like, Overwatch was the... You know, I've said this in so many videos, and it really pisses me off, this does, because Overwatch was the absolute... It was 2016, 2017, golden years of Overwatch. It was awesome. 2018 starts to get a little bit shaky. Okay, 2019 is getting really shaky, but at the end of 2019, hey, look, Overwatch 2. And the demo they showed us of Rio looked absolutely amazing. It was like, oh, well, this looks like it's fairly close to being finished, so surely it's going to come out pretty soon. So everyone starts speculating, hey, it might be coming out next year, or we might get a beta in like February or March of 2021. Of 2020 even, but we didn't, and then we got told 21. You know, I'm not going to go over it again, but yeah, I just hope this is wrong. Now, I just want to show you some other bits and pieces that Metro has said in the past, which were very accurate. So this is before BlizzCon in 2019, which I think was November the 4th or November the 5th, and he says Overwatch 2 is very much real and will be announced at BlizzCon after the short cinematic, or after a short cinematic, or the short cinematic. Reading is hard. Why is my English broken today? I don't know. Why can't I read English? So that was correct. He then also goes on to say Overwatch 2 will be PvE and PvP. Again, that was correct. And then he says the leveling system is going to change certain abilities of the heroes in the game. I don't know if this is a feature it is only PvE or for PvP as well. Of course, we know it's only for PvE. He said, for example, there will be an upgrade change to Tracer's Pulse Bomb that makes it so if you stick an opponent, all units close to the target that got stuck will be stuck with a Pulse Bomb. And that is they showed us that. Like, she sticks a Pulse Bomb and it spreads out. So clearly, whoever is feeding him this information has seen the stuff and is giving it to him, which is, you know, it's reason to believe. Now, I want to show you guys my TikTok, because this... okay, it's TikTok, so it's terrible. But I want to show you guys the comments on it, because I think it really encapsulates what we're all thinking, honestly. And even what... Okay, maybe not what we're thinking, because I think we're more like of a hardcore audience, but what the general player of Overwatch is thinking. And honestly, this is my big worry for Overwatch. I am really, really worried for Overwatch 2, because I've gone through phases of being like really pumped for it, because let's be under no illusions here. We know when the game comes out, a lot of people will buy the game and it'll have a good launch and it'll have probably a good few months. But the question is, what happens after that, right? And will it be as prominent, or you know, will it have as much of an impact as Overwatch did when it first came out? And I think we can probably say it won't, because Overwatch was a brand new IP when it came out. Everyone knows what Overwatch is. Like, you guys can see Torb on the screen there. I mean, yeah, he looks nicer, but that's Torb 2.0. That's Torb from Overwatch 2, and he kind of, well, he just looks like Torb. I know he has to look like Torb because, well, he's Torb, but you see what I mean? It looks very similar. This is what I want to show you guys, though, the comments. So remember, these are probably very casual players. So Overwatch 2 is unneeded. Changed my mind. It's literally the same game. They could have done all those patches on Overwatch. You all waited this long for a big Overwatch patch. Amazing. It's just Overwatch 1. Good job, Blizzard. A $60 patch. Well, we don't know how much it's going to cost. One tank, are you crazy? It looks identical to the first game. Why isn't this just an update? They should have just did this as one big Overwatch 1 update. It's just the same game. It's basically Overwatch with a patch. Laugh my ass off. It's just disappointing. You're going to pay dollars for something they can do in the main game. Did you all forget about the whole story mode or custom abilities? Okay, well, I've liked that comic, so I'm like, okay. You're saying it's a patch is so irritating. There's so many new things. It's like upgrading abilities, story mode with co-op. Yeah. What I wanted to get at there, guys, is all these comments at the top that were surfacing where it's straight up, this just Overwatch, mate. It's just Overwatch. It's not, what's new? What's new? Well, there is a lot of things new, but I think Blizzard are really struggling to sell that as like, hey, these are new things. We've got new stuff, because it still looks like Overwatch. But it has to look like Overwatch, right? And this is where we all come back round, and the argument always comes back to this, where it's like, well, Why isn't it just an expansion? And maybe it was going to be an expansion. And maybe Activision Blizzard said to the devs, nope, you're making a new game because we want a sequel. We don't want an expansion because we know from our data that a sequel will sell and make more money than an expansion. And it makes me sad. You know, I will always, forever and ever, you know, I have supported this game for 5 years. I have dedicated 5 years of my content creation time to this game, effectively, right? Thousands of videos. I've covered everything, and it's not like I'm, you know, they haven't forced me to do this. I do it because I genuinely enjoy the game. It's the best game I've ever played, right? As I wouldn't have made all these videos on it. I really like the game, and it's just, to me, I just get like, what if, a lot of what ifs with Overwatch. What if it carried on with new content, with new updates, and didn't just stall out after 2017, and it was just then in like, well, we're getting new heroes, we're getting new maps, but seasonal events are always the same. And then it just got even slower and slower, and then we're in the state we're in now, where we don't get new heroes, we don't get really anything. We know we're going to get a deathmatch map because that was leaked on the PTR. Obviously, when all the harassment stuff came out, Blizzard decided to not launch that. But it's like, it's a deathmatch map. Yeah, it's content, but it's, I don't know, like, I don't know, it really frustrates me. It really frustrates me sometimes when I think about Overwatch. You know, and I don't know, like, all right, guys, I was going to go over this as well in the video, but I think I've pretty much summed it up. Because a lot of the responses said, no, well, let's do it. So this is competitive Overwatch on Reddit. Now, these, you could argue, are the more, like, the hardcore fans of Overwatch. And you just see comments like, it's just negativity all the time with Overwatch, and I hate it. I'm like, give us something positive to talk about. I always try to be dead positive with the game. I really enjoy the game. And when stuff comes out, it's great, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how I'll be able to handle it if the game doesn't come out next year. Like, okay, maybe there's like a beta next year, or even at the end of this year, and then it sort of goes through maybe until next year or something. Sure. In fact, what about the updates? That's the other thing. What about all the updates we were meant to get this year? Like, oh yeah, we'll do frequent updates, which just turned into, well, we had a PvP stream and a post about the environmental systems, I think, about the weather. I'm honestly really struggling to think of anything else that we got. All right, so let's just take a quick look at this. So these comments like this, just terrible management from top to bottom. Like, these are just, it probably is terrible management from whoever is telling the developers to do this, but not from the developers themselves. Like, the devs don't get to decide what gets made, basically. That's the issue people need to really realize. Look at this comment here. Overwatch was released in May 2016. Overwatch 2 was announced November 2019, 3.5 years later. If this article is true, well, it means the tweet, it will likely be longer between Overwatch 2 announcement and release than Overwatch 1 was out until the announcement. I mean, okay, sure, and this makes sense, right? You know, it's a lot easier to build and ship just a PvP game than it will be a game with PvE as well. But, you know, these, I don't know, like, it's just, I don't want to say it makes me mad. It don't make me mad. It just makes me disappointed. It just makes me really disappointed. I mean, I do hope, though, that this isn't true. I hope this leak is not true. I hope this is just like whatever. The guys just threw it out there, and fair enough. I hope that's the case. But maybe I'm, again, like I keep saying in these videos, like, I'm on all the hopium. I'm on the copium. I'm like, come on, guys, give us some content. Please give us some content. You know, I mean, look at it. Look at the easy renaming the Apex EXE to Overwatch 2. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Like, do you know what I worry about, right? I am in danger. Like, I feel recently, a lot of the videos I've been making are just like, I feel like I'm ranting, but I feel like this is coming from a place of, like, it's like a lot of pent up, like, annoyance with what's gone on with this game. And I know it's not the developers' fault. I know it's the people above them that are causing these issues. I mean, I firmly believe that. But I'm just like, I can't fathom how, like, what will the impact be of this game when it launches? There's so much negativity about Overwatch, right? Like, why are you still making videos on this game? Who even plays this game? It's a dead game. It's not a dead game. People still play Overwatch, but there's just so much negativity around it. You look at other games, yeah, they've all got their own, like, issues with their community, but they seem to be going forward. They seem to be evolving. They're not just stagnating away, and it's like not much is really changing in this game. You know, I'll leave the video at this, because I think this sort of sums it up, and this does make me sad. Overwatch content creation in this day and age, it's about making content for people who don't play Overwatch. And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching, guys. I will, like, when there's positive stuff, there'll be loads of videos on it. Don't worry about it. But I want you guys to let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below, because I am just like, I'm really frustrated that we're in a situation where I'm looking at this game and I'm just like, just. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.